Well, hello folks, Scott here of the Review Guys, Grizzly Adams as I'm known to my friends, and you I consider my friends. See, I've already started poorly, I'm sorry. ECW February, God, I just can't do this. I just need to jump right into it, so I'll jump right into it. It's February 17th, I'm sorry. ECW, first of all, some things to talk about. Number one, I hope you're enjoying the discussion series that Chris and I had. It was last Friday night. We just talked and talked and talked and talked. We got some more videos coming for that. So yeah, today's video is, in lieu of part 3. Tomorrow we'll see part 3, and we'll keep going. And I got the No Way Out song coming up. So for those of you who wait with bated breath for that coming. Some No Way Out thoughts, very quickly. Jeff Hardy, I thought looked wonderful. I was sorry that he didn't come in second in the Elimination Chamber. That bothered me. Orton, Triple H, I'm sorry, I really don't care. Sorry. I love Orton, Triple H. And this kind of what we saw last year, even though it's not a triple threat. Not sure about that. Chris is pretty sure that it's going to be Jericho versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, which seems like it makes sense, but then, really? Do you think it'll happen? I wanted to say also, Roddy Piper last night, wonderful. It was great. It was good to see him, and he was just so great. His little thing that he said to Jericho. I thought it was wonderful. I wanted to watch it again and again, but I had to tape ECW tonight, which is a wonderful segue. So I had to tape ECW so I could watch it. Sadly, I taped over the Roddy thing. If anybody has that on tape or something, upload it on YouTube, for crying out loud, because I'd love to see it again, because it was just brilliant. But yeah, so here we go for ECW. Now, there's some things to say. I got several questions, and I must say, tonight's episode for me was lackluster. It was iffy at best, and I'll explain as we go on. First and foremost, Paul Burchill fought Boogeyman. He actually beat Boogeyman. I thought to myself, what's it going to be like when people start beating Boogeyman? And they did, and it just kind of makes you wonder, where do they go? Maybe I'm grouchy today, so I apologize if I'm grouchy. But where do they go with the story with Boogeyman that isn't completely ridiculous for a character or for a personality like Burchill, who could be a fairly strong, realistic character? So yeah, I don't really think a Burchill Boogeyman feud would do Burchill any favors. Just thinking out loud here. But anyway, Boogie chased poor little Katie Lee around, worms, something like that. Anyway, now next week we're going to see a championship match. We're going to see Swagger versus Christian for the championship. So here's my question. Question number 1 of the evening. So the championship happens next week. Who wins? Is a match at WrestleMania between Swagger and Christian gonna mean anything? Is it gonna be really worth it for us as fans? If Christian wins, who does he fight at WrestleMania? If there is indeed an ECW title match. I don't know. At the end of the match, of course, at the end of the night, I guess I'm not going to ruin anything for anyone, but we'll get there. Christian pins Swagger, so does that bode ill for for next week? I don't know. Give me your thoughts. But because that is my big question. Swagger versus Christian kind of makes me yawn at WrestleMania. Christian wins, then who does he fight then, if anybody? So we got that much going for us. Next, Tommy Dreamer versus John Morrison. Thank you. That's my little John Morrison. So of course I love John Morrison. As John Morrison was walking out, I said to myself, Money in the Bank this year, John Morrison, and I think it would be a great year for that. And look, they could split up Miz and Morrison very slowly over the course of the you know, as the year progresses after WrestleMania. I think if Morrison has the you know, the briefcase, then you could have all kind of little story options there and all kinds of things they could do. Will they do it? I don't know, but the thought went through my head. Now that said, I was sorely disappointed with this match. Sorry, John. And sorry, Tommy, because I love Tommy. My problem with this match was that there was no chemistry. You know, when we hear, and it's true, that a wrestling match is a story, that there's storytelling and ring psychology and all of that stuff in a good wrestling match. And this didn't really have it. I really didn't feel that there was any weight to what was happening. And you know, and I love them both, but Morrison I think is great. He does some amazing things, but in this case it was him just doing things. And there just really it didn't feel like it meant anything. And that was my problem with that match, and that is the reason that I was unhappy. So, you know, Morrison wins, but, you know, backstage, we see Finlay getting ready. Christian walks up to him and says something to the effect of, you know, make sure Hornswoggle doesn't get in the way. Finlay says, don't worry, basically. And I'll talk about that in a minute, because I have something I'd like to say about that, and a question I'd like to ask about that. Okay, Tyson Kidd versus a fellow by the name of Caden Matthews. Caden Matthews. And one thing I gotta say about Caden Matthews, did you see the pectorals on that fellow? I mean, this guy had some enormous and impressive pectorals, you know, so yeah, maybe obviously this match didn't work out quite so well for him or his pectorals, but the three of them could easily go on the road, I think, anywhere in America, and they would be, you know, gangbusters. But I have to say it again. Again, maybe I'm grouchy, maybe I am in kind of I feel tired, and I feel like there aren't enough hours in the day. You ever get that feeling? That's kind of how I am the last couple of days. But, yeah, so I wasn't impressed, again, by Tyson Kidd, because I just didn't feel like it meant anything. And yes, squash matches between new people, or let's just say names and jobbers, God bless them, are sure it's not going to have as much going for it, but at the same time something could still be said with the match. I feel it looks like my timing is I'm running out of time, so, and I find that odd because I don't feel like I am talking a lot, but I'm not rambling much, which is what I'm proud of myself for. So anyway, yeah, so we had that. Again, Tyson Kidd, he does some neat things, but it doesn't feel like it's meaning anything. In the same way that the exact same argument about the last match. Okay, Ricky O gives Tommy Dreamer a pep talk, and he says, you know, rally up, whatever that means. And, you know, Tommy stands up, and I gotta say, Ricky Ortiz, his hair is out of control, but I really liked what he was doing with it. I know that's not the most macho thing that a fella can say if talking about a wrestling show. I loved his hair, but no, he did. There was something unusual but interesting about it. But I shouldn't have even said that at all. I apologize. But anyway, so Tommy gets up and he looks at Ricky O like this. And I don't know if Tommy is getting his oomph back, or I thought maybe he was going to punch Ricky Ortiz, because I'm thinking, so what is the new thing with Ricky Ortiz? Are people just going to be annoyed by him? Are people going to hate him because he really serves no purpose whatsoever? God bless him. Sorry, Ricky. Final match, Henry Swagger Finlay. Question for this. It seems like, I did have one question. What do you think about Christian's theme song? I'm kind of on the fence. Part of me thinks it's, you know, bad 80s music. Part of me thinks it's kind of exciting. I don't know. Okay, quick last question about the final match. What do you think they're doing with Hornswoggle? You heard the announcers talking. they were making it sound like, you know, Hornswoggle's getting in the way, Hornswoggle is, you know, makes it too iffy. There was a lot of interference in this match. Not very little of it was Hornswoggle. Get it? Very little of it. Hornswoggle, very little. Anyway, I shouldn't have said that. We get it's a bad joke, and I don't have enough time to make bad jokes right now. But yeah, so are they going to be turning Finlay heel? Again, I say this all the time, but it could be it this time, because I think it's possible that, you know, what if everybody starts hating Hornswoggle and Finlay turns heel to protect his son? I think that would not be a bad angle to go on. So anyway, it looks like my time is up, and like I say, for the next couple nights, I'll be putting a new video up from our extended discussion session, Chris's and my. And so, yeah, so we'll see you very soon. I thank you for watching, and yeah, let me know what you think down below. I love reading your comments, and so we'll talk to you very soon. Thanks, bye.